God says, you are receiving this special message sent by heaven. It's only for you. Don't tell anyone. Something very bad is about to happen in 20 minutes if you skip this, so God begs you to open this immediately. There's a whisper in the wind right now, quiet but filled with urgency, and if your heart is still enough to listen, you will hear the voice of your Father speaking softly to you. He is not far away, not sitting high above in silence, but right here with you, arms open, eyes gentle, and heart bursting with love. You are not alone, and this moment was not a mistake. You were meant to receive this. It didn't come by chance. Heaven carefully placed it in your path, right on time, with perfect care. Type Amen if you believe. Maybe the tears have fallen silently in the dark, or maybe your smile has hidden the weight you carry. God knows it all. He sees the worries tucked behind your quiet moments, the doubts you never say aloud, and the ache you don't always understand yourself. He sees the long nights, the unanswered prayers, the times you've said, "I'm fine," when you were anything but. He sees the strength you've carried for too long, and he wants you to know, it's okay to stop trying to hold it all alone. He wants you to rest, not in the way the world offers, but the kind that wraps around your soul like a warm blanket, reminding you that even when everything feels like too much, he is enough. This message is not just words on a screen. It is a quiet rescue for your heart. It is God stepping into your space, not with loud thunder or flashing signs, but with a soft whisper that says, "I see you. I have not forgotten you. You are still mine." Sometimes we forget how deeply God cares, not because we doubt him, but because life has a way of pulling us into storms that feel endless. But even in the fiercest winds, Jesus is standing on the water, reaching out his hand, asking you to trust him again. Not because you have it all figured out, but because he already does. You may feel like everything is falling apart, but in God's hands, things are quietly being made whole. Even when it looks like nothing is changing, he is working. Even when you don't see it, he is moving. Miracles often come in moments that don't look miraculous at all. They arrive softly, like sunrise after a long night, like peace in the middle of chaos, like hope that breathes when everything else has gone quiet. God is not waiting for you to be perfect. He's simply waiting for you to be honest. He doesn't need fancy words or grand prayers. He needs your heart, raw and real, exactly as it is. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There's a sacred kind of beauty in trusting God when nothing makes sense. It's not always easy, but it's always holy. When you give him the pieces, even the ones you're ashamed of, he doesn't reject you, he rebuilds you. Every scar, every setback, every silent prayer becomes part of a masterpiece you may not yet see, but he's already painting. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not invisible. This message is your gentle reminder that heaven still knows your name. The same God who calms storms, who feeds the hungry, who heals the broken, is the same God holding you now. He doesn't rush you. He doesn't scold you. He doesn't expect you to be anything more than who you are right now. He simply wants to hold your hand through this season and remind you that even this messy, painful, confusing part of life, is not the end. He is not finished. You are still in the story. And the author of all creation is writing something beautiful, even if the page you're on feels heavy with sorrow. There is nothing you have done or will do that can make him stop loving you. His love is not fragile. It is not based on your good days or your failures. It is constant, deeper than the ocean, stronger than any storm, and more faithful than the rising sun. You may have been told to be strong, to hide your pain, to carry on without breaking. But God says, "Come to me with your weariness, and I will give you rest." That's not just a promise, it's an invitation. And it's still open. So take a breath, right here, right now. Let this moment remind you that heaven sees you. This message isn't just encouragement, it's God's personal whisper, crafted just for you, wrapped in love, carried by grace. No matter what today looks like, no matter what tomorrow may hold, you are not walking alone. Jesus is with you. He is for you. He is fighting battles you don't even see. And He is not finished writing your story. The best is not behind you. It's ahead. He is asking you to come home to His presence, where there is no rush, no fear, no pressure to be more than you are. Just you, right here, as you are. This message was meant to find you. Not because of anything you've done, but because of who God is, faithful, kind, and always near to the broken-hearted. He knows exactly what you're facing, and He wants you to know, it's not over, not for you, not with Him. Type 222 if you believe in healing. Maybe the days have felt long and heavy. Maybe your heart has grown tired from trying to stay strong. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're human, and your Father understands. He created your heart, your emotions, your soul, and every part of you matters deeply to Him. He doesn't overlook your struggles. He leans in closer when He sees your spirit growing weary. You may not have told anyone how much you've been hurting, but He already knows. And even more than knowing, He cares. He is not distant. He is not watching from a place far away. He is beside you, in the silence, in the confusion, in the ache that words can't reach. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. God doesn't just love you on your good days. He loves you fully and completely in every single moment, especially the hard ones. He doesn't withdraw when you're in pain. He doesn't wait until you figure things out. He sits with you in the mess, offering His presence as the healing balm your soul has been longing for. There is something so tender about the way He meets us, not with condemnation, but with compassion. Not with demands, but with grace. And that grace is for you, right now, whether you feel worthy or not. Type 555 if you trust Jesus with your future. He knows the battles you've been fighting in silence. He knows the prayers you've whispered when no one else was around. He knows the way your smile has tried to hide the ache, the way your heart has held on to hope even when it's been hard. You are not weak for wanting to give up. You are strong for holding on, even when everything in you wanted to let go. And even now, in your most fragile state, God is surrounding you with His strength. You don't need to pretend with Him. You don't need to hold it all together. He wants you to lay it down. All of it. Every fear, every regret, every burden you've been carrying alone. There is beauty in surrender. Not the kind that the world understands, but the holy kind, the kind that trusts God with the things you can't fix, the pieces you can't gather, the wounds you can't explain. He is not asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to be present. With Him. Here. Now. And in this quiet surrender, something sacred happens. His peace begins to fill the empty places. His love begins to warm the cold corners of your soul. His voice becomes clearer than the chaos, reminding you that you are still His, and that will never change. Even in your moments of doubt, you are loved. Even when you feel lost, you are not alone. Even when nothing makes sense, God is still good. He is still writing your story, and He is not finished. The pain you feel now is not the final chapter. The confusion, the questions, the heartbreak, they are not the end. They are part of a journey that is leading you to something deeper, something richer, something more beautiful than you can imagine. You are walking through a valley, yes, but you are not walking it alone. And what's on the other side is worth every tear, every prayer, every moment of waiting. Sometimes, we think we need answers to find peace, but God offers peace even without all the answers. Sometimes, we think we need the outcome to change before we can breathe again, but God teaches us how to breathe in the middle of the storm. That is His love, not bound by circumstances, not shaken by the winds of life. It is steady, unchanging, always reaching for you. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep holding His hand. Every time you've been overlooked, God saw you. Every time you've been rejected, God welcomed you. Every time you've been disappointed, God was preparing something better. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't lost your chance. With God, it's never too late. Every detour, every delay, every heartbreak has a place in the masterpiece He is creating from your life. He doesn't waste anything. And that includes your pain. This is not just encouragement for today, it's a lifeline for your soul. It's heaven's gentle reminder that you matter, that you're seen, that you're deeply loved. Don't let the enemy convince you that this is the end of your story. Don't let fear whisper lies into your heart. God's voice is louder, and it's saying, "You are mine. You are held. You are safe." Even when everything else feels uncertain, that truth remains. Let today be the day you choose trust over fear. Let today be the moment you stop running and let yourself fall into the arms of grace. Let this be the time you say, "God, I can't do it on my own," and feel His gentle reply, "You were never meant to." He has always been here. Always been ready. Always been waiting, not with anger, but with love so fierce and faithful that it can't be measured. You don't have to keep pretending to be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel tired. But know this, God hasn't brought you this far to leave you now. He hasn't given up on you. He hasn't changed His mind about you. You are still His beloved, and nothing you go through will ever change that. His love is the anchor, and it's holding steady, even when the waves rise. But what you may not realize is that in this very moment, God is closer than you think. You haven't been forgotten. You haven't been pushed aside. Heaven has been watching over you quietly, carefully, lovingly, and now God is whispering to your soul, I'm still here, and I'm not done with you. Type yes to affirm. There's something sacred about your struggle that no one else may fully understand. They may see your smile but not the battles you fight behind it. They may hear your words but never feel the silence that follows you at night. But God does. He sees beyond the surface and right into your heart. He knows how hard it's been to stay hopeful, how painful it's been to keep walking when it feels like the ground is always shaking. And yet, you have. Even if your steps have been slow, you've kept going. Even when your prayers have been quiet, you've kept speaking to Him. That matters more than you know. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. Heaven isn't looking for perfection from you. God isn't waiting for you to reach some impossible standard before He moves. He's already moving. Right now, He is surrounding you with unseen protection, filling the spaces you thought were empty, and working on things you haven't even prayed about yet. His love doesn't wait until you feel worthy. His love meets you in the middle of your weakness and wraps you up without asking questions. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made, how many detours you've taken, or how many times you've felt like giving up, He is still with you, and He still calls you His. You may feel worn out from the journey, and that's okay. You were never meant to carry everything on your own. The weight of life, the worries of tomorrow, the regrets of yesterday, none of it was meant to sit on your shoulders. God is inviting you, even now, to lay it down. Every burden, every fear, every thought that keeps you up at night. He doesn't just want to give you temporary relief. He wants to give you lasting peace. The kind that stays even when everything else shifts. The kind that can only come from Him. Type 1919 to receive miracles. The enemy wants you to believe that nothing will change, that you've waited too long, hoped too hard, or missed your chance. But God says otherwise. He says your waiting is not wasted. He says your hope is still alive. He says your story is still unfolding, and He is still in control. What seems delayed to you has already been scheduled by Heaven. What feels like a closed door may simply be divine protection. And what looks like the end could very well be the beginning of something new, something holy, something more beautiful than anything you've imagined. God doesn't need your life to be perfect before He blesses it. He works in the middle of chaos, in the middle of heartbreak, in the middle of confusion. He brings beauty from ashes, light from the darkest nights, and joy that rises even after deep sorrow. That's who He is. That's what He does. And He's doing it for you, whether you feel it or not. You don't have to see it to believe it. You just need to trust that the same hands that shaped the heavens are shaping your life with tenderness and care. Even now, you are being held. Even now, heaven is working behind the scenes. Even now, prayers you forgot you prayed are being answered in quiet ways. God doesn't always show up in the ways we expect, but He always shows up. Sometimes in whispers, sometimes in nudges, sometimes in the stillness that fills a room when you finally stop running. He's been there the whole time. Patient. Gentle. Waiting for you to lean in and remember that you are not forgotten. You are not here by accident. The pain you've walked through isn't random. There's purpose in it, even if you can't see it yet. God doesn't cause all things, but He can use all things. Every heartbreak, every loss, every waiting season, it's not the end. It's the shaping of something deeper. Something eternal. Something powerful. And you're still part of that plan, no matter how far off track you feel. With God, no detour is ever wasted. Every wrong turn can still lead to the right destination when He's the one guiding the way. Let this be the moment you breathe again. Not because everything is fixed, but because you remember who's holding you. Let this be the moment you take your hands off the steering wheel and say, God, I trust you. Not because it's easy, but because He's earned your trust again and again. Let this be the moment you realize that you are not lost, you are being led. Gently. Lovingly. Purposefully. Even when the path is unclear, the one who leads you never is. And when you feel tired again, and you will, don't forget that grace was made for that. When your faith feels small, His strength is still big. When your hope fades, His light still shines. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to know it all. You just have to stay close to the one who does. Jesus didn't come for the ones who had it all together. He came for the weary, the broken, the hurting. He came for you. And He hasn't left your side, not for 1 second. You may not feel like you're enough, but He is. And His love in you is greater than any fear around you. You don't need to rush, you don't need to perform. You just need to rest in His love, and let it carry you through. One moment at a time, one prayer at a time, one breath at a time. This message is for you alone, a reminder that your soul is precious, your life is deeply seen, and you are still part of God's unfolding goodness. You haven't missed anything. You are not behind. Heaven's timing for your life is still right on schedule, even if everything around you tells you otherwise. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Sometimes the days blur together, and the pressure builds so quietly that you don't realize how heavy everything has become. Maybe you've kept moving, kept doing what you needed to do, even while your heart quietly whispered that you're tired. Maybe you've smiled when you were hurting, kept peace when you were breaking, stayed strong when you felt anything but. But God sees every silent tear, every private prayer, every piece of strength you've used just to get through. He sees it all, and He wants you to hear this clearly: nothing you've done to survive has gone unnoticed. Nothing you've endured is wasted. Every part of your journey matters deeply to Him. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. He knows how long you've been waiting. For peace. For healing. For things to finally make sense. He knows the battles you've fought in your mind, the moments you've laid awake wondering if things will ever change, the days you've felt like giving up. And in all of that, He has never stepped away. Even when you couldn't feel Him, He was there. Even when your faith wavered, His love stayed the same. Even when you questioned everything, He stayed close. Because that's who He is, unmoving, unwavering, steady in a way the world never is. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't walked away. Even if you haven't prayed in a while, even if you've doubted, even if you've tried to figure it all out on your own, He's not holding any of that against you. His love is never about what you do for Him. It's always about what He has already done for you. And the love He offers is not small or weak, it's a love that reaches down into your darkest moments and pulls you back to light. It's a love that never ends, even when everything else does. You may feel tired of being strong. Tired of pretending. Tired of holding on without seeing results. But here's something God wants you to know: strength isn't always about moving forward at full speed. Sometimes it's found in the quiet decision to stay. To breathe. To hope again, even when you've been disappointed. You are stronger than you know, not because you've done everything right, but because God has been your strength in every moment you thought you couldn't make it through. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. This life can feel uncertain. Plans fall apart, people change, and storms seem to come without warning. But through it all, one thing has never changed: God's promise to never leave you. His presence is your constant, your shelter, your anchor. Even if your surroundings shift, His foundation beneath you is steady. And while you may not see the full picture now, you can trust the one who does. He's not guessing His way through your life. He already knows what's ahead, and He's guiding every step with purpose and compassion. It's okay if you're still healing. It's okay if you don't have all the answers. It's okay if all you can do is breathe and whisper His name. God isn't looking for your perfection, He's looking for your heart. Just as it is. Scarred, tired, messy, real. He loves that heart. He chose that heart. And He wants to fill it with peace again, not the kind the world offers, but the kind that settles deep into your soul and says, "You're safe here. Let yourself rest." Rest from the striving. Rest from the trying to be everything to everyone. Rest from the fear of not being enough. In God's arms, you already are. Not because of your success, not because of your strength, but simply because you are His. And nothing can separate you from that truth. Not your past, not your doubts, not your pain. His love covers it all, redeems it all, restores it all. And yes, even now, even in this very moment, He is still making a way. Doors may be closed, but that doesn't mean you're stuck. Prayers may seem unanswered, but that doesn't mean they've been unheard. God's silence is not His absence. Sometimes, He's working the deepest in the quiet. Sometimes, He's moving the most when everything feels still. Trust that. Trust Him. You don't need to pretend to be okay when you're not. Bring Him the real you. The worn out you. The uncertain you. He is not overwhelmed by your brokenness. In fact, that's exactly where His grace flows best. You don't have to have all the right words. Just show up. Just whisper, "God, I'm here," and He will meet you there every single time. Every tear you've cried, He has seen. Every ache in your chest, He has felt. And every hope you've buried under fear, He wants to bring it back to life. Nothing is too far gone. Nothing is too broken. Not with Him. He's not done yet. Your story is still unfolding, and every part of it matters. Every detour, every delay, every moment that didn't go as planned, God is using it. To shape you, to strengthen you, to draw you closer to Him. And in time, you'll see that what felt like a wilderness was really a pathway to something greater. But the truth is, He hasn't moved, not for a second. You may feel invisible to others, but you are never unseen by heaven. His eyes are on you right now, and His heart is fully aware of every detail in yours. Type 2323 if you agree. There's something sacred about the silence you've endured. Even when no one noticed your strength, God saw it. Even when no one acknowledged your broken pieces, He counted every one of them as precious. The tears that soaked your pillow did not go unnoticed. The moments you wanted to give up, but still chose to hold on, were not wasted. He was with you in every one of them, holding you when no one else could, surrounding you with mercy even when it felt like you were walking alone. You may be walking through a valley that feels endless, but valleys aren't places we stay forever. They are passages. They are spaces where roots grow deep and where faith learns to breathe. And while the world teaches you to hide your pain, God invites you to bring it into the light. Not to expose it in shame, but to heal it in love. You don't have to pretend to be strong here. You don't have to carry the mask you wear for everyone else. God wants the real you, the you that's still unsure, still healing, still learning to trust again. He knows how long it's taken you to hold on. He knows the fear that's crept in with every unanswered prayer. And He also knows the courage it takes to believe anyway. Your faith, even when it's small and trembling, is not weak. It's holy. It's seen. And it's enough. God is not asking you to be fearless, He is asking you to let Him carry what you can't. You were never meant to walk this path alone, never meant to fight these battles in your own strength. He's been there, every step, even the ones you thought you took in isolation. Type 2020 to claim miracles. Do you know, inside your brain is a small region linked to wealth and success, once buried in restricted research and hidden in CIA files. This newly revealed frequency is helping people replace stress with financial ease, and God has guided you here. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brain wave now. There's healing in His presence, healing that doesn't rush you or pressure you to be okay too quickly. His comfort is patient, gentle, and faithful. He doesn't shout over your pain, He sits with you in it. He waits with you through it. And He leads you out when the time is right. But even before the breakthrough comes, He offers peace. Not the kind the world understands, but the kind that makes no sense in the middle of the storm. The kind that shows up quietly and whispers, "You're going to be okay, because I'm still here." Your story is still being written, and the chapter you're in now is not the last one. It may feel dark, and it may feel long, but light always follows night. God is not finished with you. He has not forgotten the promises He whispered to your heart. Even if you let go of them, He hasn't. He is faithful to complete what He starts, and that includes the healing, the growth, and the restoration of your heart. There is no timeline for healing with God. He doesn't rush you through your pain. He walks with you through it, and in His time, brings you into the beauty that's waiting on the other side. There is a grace that meets you right where you are. It's not something you earn or deserve, it's something freely given. And that grace is here now, reaching for you, pulling you out of the shame you've been carrying, the guilt you've tucked away, the fear that's kept you quiet. God is saying, "Come to me." Not when you have it all together, but now, as you are. You don't have to fix yourself before you can be loved. You are already loved in full, right here in your mess, in your struggle, in your uncertainty. He's not disappointed in your weakness. He delights in being your strength. He's not burdened by your doubts. He welcomes them into His presence, where He offers truth and reassurance without shame. He's not tired of you. He's not waiting for you to be better. He's already holding every part of you in love. And that love doesn't run out. It doesn't dry up when you've fallen too many times. It doesn't shrink when life feels overwhelming. It remains steady, fierce, unchanging. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're exactly where you're meant to be for this moment. Healing takes time. Growth takes time. And God is not in a hurry with your heart. He knows what you've been through. He knows what still hurts. And He knows how to bring beauty from it, even when you can't see how. Trust Him with the pieces. Trust Him with the silence. Trust Him with the things you've stopped praying about. He hasn't forgotten them. He hasn't forgotten you. Let go of the idea that you have to be strong every day. Let go of the weight you weren't meant to carry. Let go of the fear that if you fall apart, no one will catch you. God is right here, holding you together with hands that never grow weary. You don't have to earn His love. You don't have to chase it down. You just have to rest in it. Let yourself breathe again. Let yourself believe again. You are safe in Him. But God sees the pieces you've been quietly holding. He sees how long you've been doing your best just to stay afloat. And He wants you to know, you don't have to keep swimming alone. Type Amen if you believe. There is no shame in being tired. There is no guilt in feeling like you need help. In fact, the beauty of walking with Jesus is that you were never meant to do it all in your own strength. You were created to lean, to rest, to trust, not just when things are easy, but especially when they're not. God doesn't love you less because you're weary. He draws closer. His compassion grows even deeper when He sees you in pain. You are not a disappointment to Him. You are not a burden. You are not too much, and you are never too broken for His touch. The road behind you might be filled with loss, heartache, or moments that tried to steal your joy. And maybe there are days when it feels like those memories still echo louder than your hope. But God's voice is stronger. His truth is firmer. And His love is still greater than anything your past has ever spoken over you. He is not interested in reminding you of where you failed. He's here to lift you from it, to show you what's still possible, to tell you that nothing is too far gone when His hands are involved. There is healing happening, even when it's quiet. There is growth beneath the surface, even when it feels like you're standing still. And there are prayers being answered in ways you don't yet understand. Just because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not real. Sometimes, the most powerful work God does in us happens in the hidden places, when no one is watching, when the crowd is gone, when the soul is quiet enough to receive. Don't rush that process. You are being gently restored, piece by piece, and each step is held in His care. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There will be days when your faith feels smaller than it used to. That's not failure. That's part of being human. The truth is, God doesn't measure your faith the way the world does. He doesn't need it to be loud. He just asks that you hold on to it. Even if all you can manage is a whisper of hope, it's enough. Even if you can't pray with certainty, but only with desperation, it's enough. He hears the cries that never make it to your lips. He understands the battles you don't know how to name. And He responds with kindness, every single time. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. There is no storm too dark for Him to reach into. No pain too deep for His comfort to meet. He doesn't just patch things up, He restores from the inside out. He rebuilds what's been torn down by life, not with judgment, but with mercy that flows like living water. That mercy is for you today. Not someday. Not when you feel stronger. Now. As you are. Where you are. In this very breath. Even when you feel alone, heaven surrounds you. Angels have been sent ahead of you and behind you. The Spirit of God walks beside you. Jesus Himself whispers peace into your soul when the world offers none. You are never out of reach. You are never without His covering. That's not a distant promise, it's a present reality. And when you begin to believe it again, even just a little, everything begins to shift. Sometimes, what you need most is not answers. Sometimes, it's the assurance that you are loved in your confusion, held in your brokenness, and chosen in your weakness. That's exactly what God gives. He never asks you to pretend. He never asks you to wear a mask. He simply asks for your heart. Not the polished version, but the honest one. The one that's scared. The one that's wounded. The one that still dares to hope, even after everything. Your value doesn't decrease because you've been through pain. It doesn't fade because you've made mistakes. In God's eyes, you're still His. You're still precious. You're still called. And you still carry a future that is more beautiful than your past. The enemy may try to convince you that your best days are over, but heaven says the opposite. There are still songs for you to sing, still doors for you to walk through, still purpose flowing through your veins. You are not finished. You are being renewed. Let today be the day you stop measuring your worth by what you've lost, and start receiving what God still wants to give. Let go of the voice that says, "It's too late," and lean into the truth that says, "I'm making all things new." Even now, God is placing peace into your spirit. Even now, He's planting joy where there was sorrow. Even now, His hands are lifting the weight off your shoulders and replacing it with His gentleness. Don't be afraid of starting over. With God, every day is a new beginning. His grace doesn't run out at midnight. His mercy doesn't expire with the setting sun. You can begin again, no matter how many times you've fallen. You can rise again, not in your own power, but with the strength that only He provides. And He is more than enough to carry you from this place to the promise He's prepared. This message is that sign. It's not random. It's not small. It's a sacred reminder that heaven is still holding your life in tender, careful hands, and nothing you've been through has been missed by me. Type yes to affirm. There's a certain kind of strength that doesn't look like victory. It looks like waking up even when your heart is heavy. It looks like showing up even when you feel invisible. It looks like whispering, "God, I'm trying," through tears that don't seem to stop. That kind of strength is holy. That kind of faith, even when it feels shaky, moves heaven. I am proud of you. Not because you've done everything perfectly, but because even in your pain, you have not let go. Even when you've been confused, even when you've doubted, even when you've felt like walking away, you've still stayed. And I see that. You are not failing. You are learning. You are growing. You are walking through fire that will not destroy you. I am using it to refine you. You may not understand why things had to happen the way they did, but I promise you that my plan for your life is still good. My purpose for you has not been cancelled by your struggle. It is being shaped by it. And even now, I am using everything the enemy meant to harm you to build something stronger, deeper, more beautiful than you can yet imagine. Your heart has been faithful even in disappointment, and that matters more than you know. Heaven doesn't measure success the way the world does. I don't celebrate your wins while ignoring your wounds. I cherish your honest prayers. I honor your hidden sacrifices. And I never forget the times you've chosen love, chosen peace, chosen me, even when it hurt. These moments matter deeply to me, and they are laying the foundation for the miracles that are on their way. Type 555 if you trust Jesus with your future. There are blessings coming that you didn't even ask for. There are doors opening that no man can shut. There is healing moving toward you, quiet and steady, just like the sunrise. You may not see it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not real. You are not stuck. You are being still while I work. You are not forgotten. You are being covered until the time is right. And while you wait, I am not far away. I am right here, whispering hope into your soul, surrounding you with grace, and holding back the weight of everything you were never meant to carry. You don't have to carry it all. You never did. That's why I came, for the weary, for the broken, for the ones who were trying so hard to stay strong when they were falling apart inside. I never asked you to be perfect. I asked you to come. Just come. With your tears, your doubts, your questions, your fears. Just come. I will hold it all. I will restore what's been taken. I will rebuild what's been broken. I will breathe new life into the places you thought were too far gone. Even your silence is not empty to me. I hear the words your heart is too tired to speak. I sit with you in the stillness. I walk beside you through the questions. And I never, ever let go. You are not too far. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are mine. And I will never stop loving you. A 7-second brainwave ritual, once reserved for elite people and hidden in CIA files, is now public, and people call it the 30-second miracle. Scientists say it awakens a dormant brain center tied to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's deleted again from the internet. Let me remind you, you are chosen. You are beloved. You are seen. Not for what you do or what you've achieved, but simply because you are my child. You have worth because I created you. You are enough because I breathe life into you daily. You are valuable because I said so. Nothing in your life disqualifies you from my love. No failure is stronger than my mercy. No mistake is bigger than my forgiveness. You are still redeemable. You are still usable. You are still deeply needed in this world. Don't believe the lie that says it's over. Don't listen to the voice that tells you nothing will ever change. I am still God. I am still working. And I am not done writing your story. The pain you're feeling will not last forever. The storm you're in will not drown you. I've already made a way through it. One step at a time, I'll lead you. Even when the path is unclear. Even when it doesn't make sense. Just follow me, and I will never lead you wrong. Rest in me now. Not just physically, but in your soul. Let go of the pressure to perform. Let go of the fear that says you're not enough. Let go of the shame that keeps trying to follow you into every new season. You don't have to earn your place in my heart, you already have it. You don't have to prove your worth to me, I decided it long ago. You don't have to hide your wounds, I want to heal them. You are safe here. You are loved here. You are home here, with me. There is more for you. More peace. More joy. More life. And it's not waiting at the top of the mountain. It's here, in this moment, in this breath, in this quiet surrender. You don't have to chase it. You just have to receive it. My arms are open. My heart is ready. My grace is enough. Come as you are, and let me take care of the rest. And though it may not always feel like it, the sign has come. This is it. I'm speaking to you now, not from a distance, but from right beside you, where I've always been, where I will always be. Type 222 if you believe in healing. You are not forgotten. I know that word has settled into your spirit more times than you can count, like a shadow following you through your days. You've felt overlooked. You've felt unseen. You've questioned whether anyone truly understands what it's like to live inside your heart. But I do. I understand completely. You have never been out of my sight, not even once. I've watched over you since before your first breath, and I've never left, even when you couldn't feel me. Especially then. The world has told you to keep going, to stay strong, to keep smiling through the pain, and you've done your best. But I am not the world. I am your father, and I don't ask you to carry the weight of everything alone. That's not strength, that's suffering. I want to take what's been crushing your soul and exchange it for peace. Not temporary peace, not a moment of relief that fades, but real peace. Lasting peace. The kind that settles deep inside and lets you breathe again, even when nothing around you makes sense. I know how tired you are. Tired of praying and not seeing the answers. Tired of trying to be everything to everyone. Tired of waiting for something to finally shift. I know it's hard. But I'm not asking you to figure it all out. I'm asking you to trust me again, even if it's just a little. Even if your faith feels small, even if your heart feels bruised. I can work with that. I can rebuild from there. It's not about how strong you feel, it's about how close you stay. There are parts of your story that still make your heart ache. Places that feel unfinished. Questions you've been holding for years. I know. And none of it has been ignored. I've seen the heartbreak, the losses, the disappointments that made you wonder if I was still writing your story or if you had been left behind. But here's the truth, I've never stopped writing. Even when you felt like your pages were blank, I was still holding the pen. And the chapters ahead are filled with light, filled with restoration, filled with purpose that hasn't even touched your imagination yet. Type 1919 to receive miracles. You see, what's coming is not based on your performance. It's not based on how perfectly you've lived or how much you've gotten right. It's based on my love. And my love doesn't change. It doesn't fade when you fall. It doesn't grow stronger when you succeed. It simply is. Always present. Always full. Always ready to lift you when you fall. That's the kind of love I give, and that's the kind of love I want you to live in. You don't have to prove yourself to me. You never did. I made you with care, not so you could spend your life earning love, but so you could simply receive it. You are my child. That hasn't changed. It won't. No matter how broken you feel, how messy your past, how uncertain your future, I still call you mine. And I still have plans for you. Not just to survive, but to thrive. To live fully. To feel joy again, not just momentarily, but deeply. To find laughter again, not just in the good days, but even in the healing ones. Don't let the enemy convince you that your story is finished. Don't let fear tell you that you've gone too far, waited too long, or failed too many times. With me, there is no too late. There is only grace, renewal, and a future that still burns bright. Even the detours, even the heartbreaks, even the things you regret, I can use it all. I already am. Every tear you've cried has watered the seeds of something sacred, and in time, you will see the beauty bloom. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. Let yourself rest in me. Lay down your worries. I know how they've followed you from day to day, how they've weighed down your spirit. You weren't made to carry them forever. You weren't made to walk this road alone. That's why I sent my Son. That's why Jesus walks with you now, not only in spirit, but in every breath, every step, every quiet cry for help. He knows what it feels like to be broken, to be alone, to be weary. And He knows how to restore what's been lost. You don't have to have all the right words. Just say His name. Just turn your heart toward me. That's enough. I'll do the rest. I'll fill the emptiness. I'll heal what hurts. I'll bring clarity where there's confusion and peace where there's pain. You're not too far gone. You're not too forgotten. You are right where I can reach you, and I will never stop reaching. I know you've been walking through a season that feels long, uncertain, and sometimes even hopeless. You've prayed, you've waited, you've tried to stay strong, and still the answers haven't come the way you imagined. You've watched doors close, people walk away, plans fall apart, and dreams slip out of reach. You've asked me, why, in the quiet moments, with tears you didn't want anyone else to see. And I heard you. I've always heard you. Every whisper. Every cry. Every prayer that never made it past your lips but echoed loudly in your heart. I was there. I still am. I want you to know that just because it's been hard doesn't mean I've been silent. And just because the answer hasn't come yet doesn't mean it isn't on the way. I do not operate on human clocks or calendars. My timing is not a delay. It is divine preparation. What I'm building in you now is stronger than what the world can take away. What I'm preparing for you will last longer than anything you've lost. You may not see it yet, but one day, you'll look back and understand that every setback was a setup for something far greater than you imagined. This road has not been easy. And I never said it would be. But I did promise that I would never leave you. I promised to be with you in the fire, in the valley, in the stillness, and in the storm. And I've kept that promise. Even when you couldn't feel me. Even when you thought you were walking alone. I was there, behind you, beside you, carrying you when your strength ran out. I have not let you go. I never will. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. I know how it feels when the prayers go unanswered, when the days grow heavy, when you try to stay strong but everything inside you feels fragile. I know the weight you've carried and the way you've tried to keep going for everyone else while your heart quietly breaks. And I want to remind you, it's okay to rest. It's okay to weep. It's okay to fall apart sometimes. I'm not disappointed in you. I'm not expecting you to carry what I already died to take from you. Let me hold what you've been holding. Let me speak life into the places you've closed off because of pain. Let me bring healing to the wounds you've tried to ignore. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to wear a smile when your heart is aching. I'm not looking for perfection, I'm looking for your surrender. Your trust. Your heart, exactly as it is. Even when everything feels like it's falling apart, I am still holding you together. Even when your thoughts are tangled with doubt and fear, my truth remains steady. And the truth is this: you are still loved, still chosen, still mine. Nothing can change that. Not failure. Not fear. Not the lies that creep in when you're tired. I have called you by name, and no shadow can hide you from my light. You may feel like you've reached your limit, but I have no limits. You may feel like your strength is gone, but I am your strength. You may feel like you're out of options, but I am the God of endless possibilities. Where you see a dead end, I see a miracle waiting to happen. Where you see loss, I see the beginning of something new. My plans are not small. They are not weak. They are full of hope, of healing, of joy that will return to your life in ways you never imagined. Do not measure your life by the pain of this season. I am doing a deeper work. One that begins in your heart and stretches into eternity. I am writing a story that will bring hope not only to you, but through you, to others who need to know they're not alone. Your testimony is forming in the middle of your struggle. Your breakthrough is being prepared in the silence. Nothing is wasted. Not the pain, not the waiting, not the questions.